Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be guiding you through a 35-ish minute Vinyasa class with a savasana at the end. This flow is pretty similar to how I like to practice at home. We'll be doing a lot of intuitive movements and it is a full body flow. So we'll be getting into the hips and hamstrings and incorporating some core work and back bends as well. If you have any props you'd like to use, feel free to grab those, and as always, remember to listen to your body and modify any of the poses to fit your practice. So with all of that being said, let's go ahead and settle onto our mats. We'll start today in a comfortable seated position. So you could be cross-legged or you could even be on your knees here if that feels good in your body. Placing the hands either on top of the knees or in your lap. Beginning to close the eyes here, finding a nice tall spine. Grounding down through your sit bones, or through your feet, your shins. Feeling the connection between your body and the earth. And then begin to bring awareness to your breath without changing anything at first, just noticing your inhales and your exhales. And then taking notes of the physical body, noticing any physical sensations, any areas that might feel tight or tender, letting go of any judgments, just practicing mindful awareness. And then take this moment to set an intention for your practice today. So whether that's just feeling good in your body, maybe you'd like to stay more present or aware, or maybe your intention is to practice being a little more kinder to yourself, to your body, giving yourself a little more self-love today. So whatever your intention is, take a note of that for these next few seconds before we get into our physical practice. And we'll take one full inhale and one full exhale here. And once you're ready, we're going to bring the right arm across the low back, placing the left palm on top of the right. And then gently draw the left ear towards the left shoulder, getting a gentle stretch along the right side of the neck. And slowly bring the right arm back. And simply switch sides, bringing the left arm across the low back, placing the right palm on top of the left, drawing the right ear towards the right shoulder. Coming back to the breath. Then we'll release both arms. Inhale as you reach the arms up towards the sky, bringing the palms to touch overhead. And as you exhale, Bring the hands behind the low back, interlacing the fingers into a fist, then drawing that fist towards the ground, opening the heart, lifting the chest. Gently release the hands, coming into a tabletop pose on hands and knees, stacking wrists underneath shoulders and knees underneath the hips, moving through cats and cows. So as you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round through the spine, draw the chin to the chest. Move through this movement a few times at your own pace, finding any intuitive movement that feels good. Maybe finding some spinal waves, shifting the body weight forwards, and then sending the hips down towards the heels. Another option is to shift the hips from side to side, getting a stretch in the outer hips, bending the elbows. Good. Coming back to a neutral tabletop, long through the spine. Inhale, reach the right arm up towards the sky. As you exhale, thread the needle, bringing the right arm underneath the left arm, bringing the right ear on top of the mat, and extending the left arm straight out in front of you. Coming back to your breath here. If you'd like a deeper stretch, you can come on top of the left fingertips. Good. Come back through the center. Then come back on hands and knees, tabletop pose. Inhale, lift the left arm up. And as you exhale, thread the needle on the opposite side, bringing the left ear on the ground. Right arm extended straight out in front of you. And again, find your variation. You can come up onto the fingertips. One more breath. Bringing the left arm back through, extending both arms. Then coming back through tabletop, we'll tuck the toes here and then lift the hips up, coming into a downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet here. Start to bend one knee and then bend the other. Then finding some stillness in your downward dog, we'll move through some spinal movements. So as you inhale high in the toes, lifting the heels, shift your body weight forward as if you're coming into a high plank. And then start to bend the knees and send the hips up high. So as you shift your body weight forward, you're rounding through the upper spine, drawing the shoulder blades apart. And then as you bend the knees, you're arching your spine. So almost finding a cat and cow leg movement in your downward facing dog. And once you start to find your rhythm, it feels really good. And this is a great warm up for your spine, warming up the arms as well. And then once you're ready, finding stillness in your downward facing dog. From here, we'll step to the top of the mat, halfway lift, finding a flat back, and forward fold, release the head and neck. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up, coming up to standing. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky, and exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, palm the mat, step it back to plank and move through Vinyasa here. Moving through Chaturanga, you could come onto the knees if you need to. Inhale for your back bend, either Cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, finding downward facing dog. Next, stepping to the top of the mat, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, keeping the knees bent, chair pose, Utkatasana, reaching the arms up. Bringing the hands to heart center, take a deep inhale. And as you exhale, twist towards the right side, bringing the left elbow towards the outer edge of the right knee. Keeping the weight even in the feet here. One more breath. Then release the hands back to the mat, forward fold with the knees still bent. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out the legs. Exhale as you palm the mat, step it back to plank, and then take a vinyasa here if you'd like. Otherwise, meeting in downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, chair pose, bringing the hands to heart center. Take a deep inhale. This time as you exhale, twist towards the left side, bringing the right elbow towards the outer edge of the left knee. Come back to the breath. And then finding a forward fold with the knees bent. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten out the legs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise, sweep the arms all the way up, bringing the hands to heart center and pause here for just a moment. Come back to your intention. From here, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back. Drop the back knee, coming into a low lunge. Once you've found your foundation, reach the arms up towards the sky. Interlace the hands, bringing the hands along the back of the skull. Opening the chest, lifting the heart up towards the sky. Good. From here, release your hands back down. Framing the front foot, and then we'll bend the back foot. Reaching the right hand for the left foot, coming into a diagonal quad stretch. So it's a gentle twist towards the right side, opening your chest towards the sky if you'd like. One option here is to spin on the outer edge of the right foot, getting a deeper stretch in the hips. And gently releasing the left foot back down to the ground. Placing both hands in front of the right foot, lift the left knee up off of the ground, reach the hands up, coming into a high lunge. Finding cactus arms here, bending the elbows. And then inhale, reach the arms up. Next, moving into warrior two. Turning onto the outer edge of the left foot so that it's parallel with the back of the mat. Extending the arms straight out in front of you, gazing over the right hand. Transitioning into triangle pose, straightening out the right leg. Bringing the right hand on top of the shin, reaching the left arm up towards the sky. Gently bringing the left hand down to frame the front foot, coming into pyramid pose, folding over the right leg. You could be high on the back toes here. And then moving into a low lunge, but keeping the back knee lifted. Straightening out the right leg, coming into pyramid pose. And then flowing back into a low lunge, lifting the chest, open the heart. Finding your pyramid pose. And then one last time, moving into our low lunge, we'll plant the hands firmly down, step the right leg back, and then lift the right leg for a three-legged downward facing dog. Bend the knee, draw the heel towards the glutes. Stay here, or you can flip your dog, coming into Wild Thing, planting the right foot down, lifting your heart towards the sky. Moving back through the center, placing your right hand down if you lifted it, then reaching the right leg back up into three-legged down dog. Place the right foot down, take a breath here, then shift your weight forward into a plank pose. Slowly lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, then lift yourself into baby cobra, keeping the elbows pressed into the ribs, and lower yourself back down. Coming onto the forearms here, moving into Sphinx pose, pressing the forearms gently into the ground, pressing the tops of the feet into the ground as well. Lift the chest. From here, we'll move into a quad stretch. So go ahead and bend the right knee, reach the right hand towards the inside of the right foot, and then draw the hands towards the front of the foot so that your fingers are facing the front of the mat and the elbows are pointed up towards the sky. Keep your chest facing the front of the mat and keep pressing your left forearm into the ground. Keep your breath steady. And then slowly release the right foot back down. Switching sides now, bending the left knee, reaching the left hand towards the inside of the left foot, and then turning your fingers so that they're facing the front of the mat. Again, keep your elbow pointed up towards the sky. Try to keep your chest facing forward. And seeing if you can draw that left heel towards the left glutes, towards the outer edge of the left hip. Come back to your breath. Good. Slowly release the left foot back down. Placing the forehead on the ground, we'll interlace the hands behind the back. And on your next inhale, you'll lift the chest and lift the legs up off of the ground, coming into locust pose. Keeping your core nice and engaged. Opening the chest. And then slowly lower yourself back down, releasing the forehead to the mat. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Push yourself up into plank, meeting in downward facing dog. From here, step or jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, forward fold, hinge from the hips. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And then exhale, palm the mat, step the right foot back, drop the back knee, low lunge. Inhale, lift the arms up. Interlacing the fingers, bringing them along the base of the skull. Open the chest, drawing the elbows towards the back of the mat. Breathe here. Strong through the front leg. And then release the hands, framing the front foot. Bending the back knee, and then reaching the left arm to grab a hold of the right foot. Coming into a diagonal quad stretch. And finding your variation here. You could spin on the outer edge of the left foot. You could find a gentle twist towards the left side. And slowly release the foot back down, Framing the front leg, lifting that back knee up. Inhale, reach the arms up, coming into a high lunge. Finding cactus arms, bending the elbows, opening the chest. And then straightening out the arms, moving into warrior two. Keeping the right foot parallel with the back of the mat. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears and gazing over the left fingertips. And we'll go ahead and straighten the left leg, moving into triangle pose. Planting the left hand down or on top of the shin and reaching the right hand up towards the sky. Keeping the shoulders stacked, breath is steady. And then bringing the right hand back down to the mat. Framing the left foot with both hands, moving into pyramid pose. So folding over the left leg, high on the back toes. Moving through your low lunge. And then back into pyramid. Keep flowing through these two poses at your own pace. Moving with your breath. And then from your low lunge, go ahead and place the left leg back. And then lift the left leg, coming into three-legged down dog. Bend the knee, drawing the heel towards the glutes, opening up the hip. And stay here, or you can choose to flip your downward dog, coming into wild thing. Bringing the left foot back, opening your chest. Once you're ready, place the left hand back down, straighten out the left leg, and then place the left foot down to meet the right foot. Shift your body weight forward, coming into a high plank, then lower yourself all the way down to the ground. Gently place your forehead on the ground. Interlace the fingers and bring them towards the base of the skull. Keeping the elbows pointed towards the side. And then on your next inhale, go ahead and lift the chest. Lift your legs up off of the ground. Squeezing your core. Keeping your back muscles engaged. And then slowly lower all the way back down to the ground. Gently resting your forehead on the mat. And then moving into Sphinx pose once you're ready, coming onto the forearms. Moving into half bow pose. Bending the right knee, reaching your right hand towards the outer edge of the foot. Grabbing hold of the top of the foot, and then kicking that foot into the hand, gently lifting the right leg up towards the sky. Keep pressing into the left forearm. Open your chest. And then gently draw that right leg back down to the ground. Bending the opposite leg and then reaching the left hand towards the outer edge of the left foot. Kicking the foot into the hand, lifting your chest, opening up the left side of the body. Keeping the thigh lifted, keeping your core engaged, and then gently release the foot back down. Place the hands underneath the shoulders, and then come into child's pose. Resting your forehead on the mat, big toes touch, knees can be apart or together. And take a moment to come back to your breath, come back to your intention. And with every inhale, filling your lungs completely, fully. And with every exhale, finding a softening within the body and the mind. Taking one more breath here. And as you're ready, slowly come into a seated position. Coming onto the glutes here and then moving into boat pose. So lifting the feet, you can have the knees bent. And then extending the arms straight out in front of you alongside the legs. From here, we'll lower into half boat pose. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, straighten out the legs, hovering the feet a few inches off of the mat. And then inhale, come back up. Exhale, straighten the legs. Inhale, trying to keep the spine as straight as possible, trying not to round too much in the upper back. Coming back to boat pose. One last time, exhale, Ardha Navasana, straightening out the legs and then slowly kicking your feet so that they're a few inches off of the mat. And then hold here, squeeze your core, and release everything back down to the mat. Go ahead and bend the knees here, and then draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself a big hug, a squeeze, releasing any last bit of tension. Bringing the feet back down to the ground, about hip-width distance apart. Bringing the hands alongside the body with the palms face down, we'll move into bridge pose here. So pressing firmly into the palms, lift the hips up towards the sky. Keeping the chin tucked into the chest. Pretend like you're squeezing the knees together. And if it's comfortable for you, you can even interlace the fingers alongside the ground here. Keep pressing the hips up. And then when you're ready, slowly release the hips back down. And take a moment to come back to your breath and recenter yourself. You'll have two options here next. Either moving back into bridge pose here if you like that variation. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and cue how to get into wheel pose. So keeping the feet about hip-width distance apart, go ahead and place the hands beside the ears with the fingers facing the feet, elbows pointed up towards the sky. From here, moving into the same position as we did with bridge pose. So lifting the hips up towards the sky. Keep squeezing the knees together. And then you'll use your hands to push yourself up onto the crown of your head. From here, using your arm strength, you're going to push yourself all the way up into wheel pose. Keeping your feet pressed firmly into the mat. Toes facing the front of your mat. And keep the breath going here. So sometimes we have a tendency to hold our breath in back bends, but we want to keep inhaling and exhaling. And once you're ready, you can slowly come out of the pose the same way you entered it, lowering onto the crown of the head, and releasing the hips back down to the ground, and settling back onto your spine. From here, we'll windshield wiper the knees, twisting from the left to the right. Resetting the spine. And we'll go ahead and draw the knees into the chest. Straighten out the arms And then we'll find gentle circles with the knees here, massaging the sacrum or the low back. Moving slowly in one direction, and then moving in the opposite direction. Once you're ready, release your feet back down to the ground. We'll find eagle legs here, so crossing the right leg over and around the left leg. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, send your legs towards the left side, coming into a supine twist. And if it's comfortable for you, you can bring your gaze towards the right side. And breathe. And gently coming back through center, uncrossing your legs, and then we'll go ahead and switch sides, crossing the left leg over and under the right. Take a deep inhale, and as you exhale, twist towards the right side and bring your gaze towards the left. Coming back through center, and gently uncross the legs and draw the knees into the chest, giving yourself one last squeeze. And finding happy baby, bringing the arms inside of the legs, bringing the hands towards the outer edge of the feet, gently rocking from side to side, and drawing the knees towards the outer edges of the ribs. And from here, bring the knees together, placing the hands on top of the knees. Gently rock yourself up, coming into a seated position. And we'll go ahead and straighten out the legs here, sitting on the glutes, finding a nice tall spine, relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. And as you inhale, lift the arms up towards the sky. As you exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. And you can let your arms hang heavy here, or you can grab a hold of your feet, your shins, the back of your thighs. We're focusing on releasing any bit of tension in the upper body, so allow the head and neck to hang heavy. Finding a roundness in the upper spine. Taking a few deep breaths. And then once you're ready, slowly come back up and then make your way onto your back. From here, we'll go ahead and cross the right leg on top of the left leg. Grab a hold of the tops of both feet and then draw the knees close to the body, coming into a supine Gomukhasana. And then simply switching sides here, crossing the left leg on top of the right, grabbing hold of the top of the feet, drawing the knees into the chest. And maybe you close your eyes here, focusing on getting a stretch in the hips. And then once you're ready, slowly uncross the legs, slowly uncrossing the legs, drawing the knees into the chest. And once you're ready, extending the legs, releasing the arms alongside the body, closing the eyes, and preparing for our final resting pose. We'll take one cleansing breath here. So take a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, open the mouth and sigh it out. Letting go of any unnecessary thoughts or distractions. Tuning inwards now and allowing yourself to rest here in Shavasana. Slowly bringing your awareness back into the space, finding small movements in the wrists and the ankles. Placing the arms up over the head. And then maybe drawing the knees into the chest. Rolling yourself over onto your favorite side. Keeping the eyes still closed. And then slowly make your way into a seated position. Placing the hands on top of the knees. Take this moment to find gratitude for yourself for making time to practice on your mat today. Finding gratitude for this body and all that it allows you to do. We'll bring our hands to heart center and bow our heads in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.